Hello, it is I, Frost, and welcome to another Top 5 episode. Today we're doing something a little different. Instead of the usual Overwatch or GTA, we're doing it on Recon Wildlands, which for those that don't know is the current walkthrough game on my channel. This is just kind of testing the waters. If this video does okay, then I'm thinking of doing more like this, where I take my walkthrough series and I do top 5 on it, whether it be like, I don't know, depends what the game is really. But today, we're looking at the top 5 best weapons in Ghost Recon Wildlands. The reason I'm making this video, you may ask, well, because I want content, alright? That's it. So, yeah, this is also kind of like a thing for anyone that maybe hasn't played the game yet. I don't see why you would, the game's came out in 2016, but always take down a trip down nostalgia road and figure out what the best guns are the next time they do a playthrough of it, whenever that may be, because I don't know, because I'm not fucking you. So yeah, I'll also be explaining what province it can be found in and all that shit, and I'll explain the stats. And I've also put one weapon from each category, so one shotgun, one assault rifle, one sniper, yada yada yada. Anyway, with that being said, let's fucking do this. So our number 5 spot today is the shotgun of the list, the Spas 12. Now, for those that have watched my walkthrough, you'd know that I don't use a shotgun. My natural loadout is assault rifle and a sniper. But as I said at the beginning, I am trying to put one weapon from each category in here, and the shotgun goes here. Now the reason I don't like the shotgun is because for a shotgun to be effective, you need to be up close, and in this game, the stealth, unless you're right behind them, like, so if you're from a distance you can spot you, and I don't like being too close. Some shotguns are like this, and that's this one. It can be found in the La Cruz province, I believe, which is right down at the bottom. And yeah, overall it's pretty good. It's a single fire unless you tap the trigger. But other than that, it's pretty all around good weapon. Doesn't have the best range, and that's kind of my problem with it. Is range, and that's why I prefer using like assault rifles and shit. So yeah, that's basically why. Another issue I have with it is the attachments for it are very limited. Like the stock shotgun itself isn't too bad. I think it's the best shotgun there is. But, well, I don't use shotgun, but it's the best shotgun out of the few that there is. So yeah, the shotgun attachments are limited. This one you can't put a sight on it, but the iron sights are pretty good, so you don't really need one. You can put a suppressor and a laser on it if you're trying to go stealth, but I don't personally recommend it because, like I said, you need to be kind of close or mid-range depending on this one, which this one can kind of do. I don't know the exact range, it kind of loses its damage, but from a small to far range it's okay, I guess. I don't recommend it though. So number 4 spot on this list I gave to the MPX, which is the submachine gun for this list. And the reason I've picked it is because it was actually quite hard to pick, because there's a lot of good SMGs as well as assault rifles. But ultimately it came down to either the MP7 or the MPX. And I'm doing this off of base stats, right? So like this, when you pick it up in the game and decide to use it, I'm using this base stats. Obviously the attachments you can have will vary, and like the range and the power and the noise suppression and all that. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about base stats. So the customization's pretty good as well. It's much better than like a shotgun or a sniper or an LMG. It should. But like I said, back to the point I was making, it's the bet I picked it over the MP7 because although the MP7 has a better fire rate, from what I've seen, the MPX has more range and more noise suppression, even without a suppressor. So if you're trying to go for like maybe a stealth kind of thing, the MPX will do better. But like if you're in like a gunfight, I'd say the MP7. So ultimately the choice is yours on what you decide to use. But the MPX is just kind of better in my opinion. So yeah, it can be found in the Mohokoyo province, which is up towards the northwest. Yeah, the northwest, basically right in the corner. And yeah, basically better than the MP7 in my opinion. Your opinion may differ, and that's okay. This is my list though, and I just feel like the MPX is a little bit better. So at number 3 I've put the Stoner LMG. LMGs, much like the shotguns, I don't really use much, but you know, the Stoner it was between the MG121 and this, and the reason I put this is based on the MG121 I believe has a better fire rate, but I believe this has more damage, which is always better, especially in a gunfight. Also, it has more customization options than the MG121. You can actually put a suppressor on this. So, if you want to do a stealth LMG kind of thing, I'd recommend the Stoner. It's got a good all-round damage output. So, if that's kind of something you're into, then well, obviously that's what you're into. Everyone likes a good damaging weapon, you know. If it doesn't do good damage, it's basically shite. But, yeah. It also doesn't slow you down too much. Like, I don't know if this works with other LMGs, but the Stoner I feel like you have more mobility with, if that makes sense. It's also got a very good fire rate and pretty good, like, at taking down, you know, helicopters and shit. You know, the alarm goes off and you're kind of trapped. But yeah, it can be found in Pucara province, which is right next to the Starsing province. To the left, which is Itakwa, but to the left you've got Pucara. And yeah, so yeah, basically, in my opinion, the Stoner is the best LMG, but there might be another one. Who knows? If you use LMGs more than me, then you're more likely to know, but I don't use LMGs much. But this is my opinion, like I said. So basically, Stoner is number 3 and the LMG of this list because of those reasons. Okay, moving down to our number 2 spot, we have the assault rifle of the list, the MK17. Now someone's probably going to try and say it's the Mark 17, but it's not the Mark 17, it's the MK17, alright? Shut up. So yeah, this is the assault rifle of this list, and people might be confused, because, you know, if you've watched my walkthroughs about but Frost, you use the M4. Why would you put the MK here? There are a lot of good assault rifles in this game, the L85, the M4, this. However, only one can make the list, so this is the lucky one. And the reason I put it here is because although it has a slower fire rate than that of the M4 or the L8, it makes up for it in damage. And that's kind of what is best about this weapon. It can be found in the Flor de Oro province, which is, for those that have played the game, the province this is literally crawling full of fucking Unidad, which is hellish to say the least. But it's manageable, as all provinces are. So yeah. It's found in the main base, I think, as well. So you want the exact location, I think it's in the main base, towards the upper part of it. But yeah, so the MK17 has got an all-round... The firing rate isn't too bad. Like I said, the M4 makes a much better fire rate, so if you're looking for like shorter kill times, I guess you could say, the M4 is probably your go-to, but the MK is just all good at killing and dealing damage, and it's got good range as well, which is basically what you want, and that's why it ultimately ends up at this spot. And number 1, we have this sniper, the L11 5A3, but I just call it the L11. So this one also might confuse people because of one reason, and that's the HTI, which is also a sniper, but ultimately I picked this one because this one with the L11, you move a lot quicker, you're more mobile with it, and that's kind of what I like about it. You know, the HTI, you feel kind of slow and sluggish, but I will say the HTI packs a huge punch and is very good at taking down cars and helicopters and stuff. And that's why I use it for, like, when the alarm goes off in a base and the helicopters come and all that shit. I use the HTI, but the L11 has a lot more range and better customization for those that like that. And ultimately it ends up at this. There's not much to say about it other than it's number 1, it's the sniper of this list, good customization, good damage and good range. However, if you want to, like, you know, make more of an impact and it's going in guns blazing, the HTI is probably your go-to. Anyway, with that being said, guys, that's all from this video. If you have another top 5, you can leave it in the comments or my Discord, and I love you all. See you all later. Peace.